Okay, this is a praise and worship lesson for guitar in the key of E. Now the key of E is one of the best keys to play for on guitar, and there are so many little tricks you can do, and I just wanted to share with the praise and worship leaders out there, and even anybody that's a guitar player, some of the tricks that I've picked up over the years to make the key of E sound awesome. So here we go. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on my guitar here so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Okay, now typically, you know, what you would learn in the key of E would be your E chord like this, your A chord, your B chord, F sharp minor, C sharp minor, okay? And I'm going to just show you a way around most of those chords, okay? And for this, I'm going to use the song Open the Eyes of My Heart because there's a lot of these chords in there. So typically you would hear like, open the eyes of my heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart, I want to see you, I want to see you. Which sounds okay, but over time that's going to get really boring because you're using these chords. Now the trick to the key of E are these bottom two strings. B and E strings. On all of these chords I'm going to show you, the B and E strings can be open. So here we go. That same thing can be played like this. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Okay, now here's a couple of things that I'm doing. Number one, I've got my E chord, and I'm adding this pinky to it. Every now and then, just, okay, and that's making it a suspension, but I'm not going, I'm just kind of adding it here and there. You might even sometimes just kind of that, adds a little bit extra to it. Now my A chord, what I'm doing is, okay, here's my E, I'm jumping down these two fingers, my second and third finger, I'm jumping them down two strings to make what's called an A second chord, okay? So instead of, basically if you're playing your A chord, you took off the bottom finger there, this would be an A second, which just sounds a lot more full than, and on guitar it just sounds better, but I play with these two fingers. The reason is I take this first finger and I keep it where it is on the E, right behind this guy, so when I pick up him, going down a half step, okay? And what that is actually, you're making like a A major 9 chord or A major 7 chord. And so with that, it sounds really cool if you're playing, you go A, just adding that little bit. So much better than just okay, there. So we got the E and the A. Okay. Now our B chord, our bar chord would be like this or this, if you could play it like that. And especially acoustic guitar bar chords are hard to play with. Especially your A form bar chords like this, if all three of them go down. So what we're going to do is we're going to, instead of basically what we're doing is we're playing a B bar chord and we're taking off the bottom two strings, okay? And so instead of barring it like this or like this, we're going to take it like that. And basically you're playing kind of like a power chord where your only three strings you're playing are this one, and this one. That's the only ones you're pressing down. And then these bottom two are open. Now technically this is a B suspended chord or B sus. So if you're playing with a keyboard or you're playing with another guitar player or anybody that's going to be playing the full chord, you need to let them know that you're going to be playing a B sus at this. Or what you can do is actually take your middle finger and put it on the bottom string, 2nd fret, which I'll admit that's actually kind of a stretch. It takes a little while to get used to. So you can do the B sus and let everybody know, or if you want, you can even just take the bottom of your hand and kind of mash it up a little bit to where the bottom string is going to be muted, and then you play. Okay, the bottom one's muted, and that would just make it like a regular B chord. So here we go. So open the eyes will be, open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. And there we go. So a couple other things. We've got then going to the C sharp minor chord. Here's our normal C sharp minor. Here's our C sharp minor 7. That one doesn't sound too bad, but we're going to play it this way. Basically, we're taking that same B form and we're sliding it up 2 frets to where this is the first finger's on the 4th fret. That's a great C sharp minor chord. That just sounds, it's actually a C sharp minor 7. Anytime you see a minor chord, you can always add the 7 and it's not going to conflict. So if you see E minor, you can play E minor 7. Don't worry about it. It's going to sound good. If you see C sharp minor, just play C sharp minor 7. So on this part, to see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory, pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. And actually, sometimes on that song, people go holy, holy, holy. That gets to our next chord, the F sharp minor. Now, here's typically your F sharp minor chord. Bar chord. That sounds okay, but that doesn't sound as full as. So what we're doing is basically the same thing we did with the B. So we got our bar chord. So, or these are the notes we're playing. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and we're basically leaving these 2 open. Okay, and so I'm playing, basically reversing that B chord. First finger goes here, 3rd and 4th, and the top string on the 2nd fret is going to be played with my thumb. Now this is admittedly kind of difficult to do, but once you get it down, that's a great sounding chord, especially compared to. Okay, so like for instance, I'll switch to the song "Open the Eyes." I Could Sing of Your Love. I could sing of your love forever. Sounds so much better than I can sing of your love forever. I can sing of your love forever. Okay, so there you go. This F sharp minor, work on him really hard because that's a really good one to use. If you absolutely cannot get it, which you can, you just got to practice hard on it, is if you play like an A second chord and take your first finger, put it on the top string. That technically is also an F sharp minor 7 chord. I recommend you try to mute that string, the A string, the 5th string, 2nd to top, to where it's getting muted by this finger. But this is kind of, this chord here is second best to this. So anyway, there you go. Hopefully that's helpful. This is going to be part 1, and I've got 2 more parts. The key of E is just so amazing what you can do with it, and so hopefully you can watch part 2 and 3 once you get this stuff down. And anytime you play a song in the key of E, you will be all over the fretboard playing really awesome stuff, and it'll take your playing up to a completely different level.